So this is my essay proposal. I'm doing discuss the ways in which Hollywood and or other national film industries have been impacted by or contributed to globalization. Your answer should incorporate discussion of both the global north and global south. To do this, I'm going to look at cultural imperialism, and I'll explore how Hollywood more specifically has been impacted and or contributed to globalization. I'm going to do this by looking at Hollywood as the global north and Bollywood as the global south. My overall argument is I think it's pretty clear Hollywood is both impacted by globalization and a contributor to it, as is Bollywood. Because of globalization, Hollywood is able to create films that have a global reach and be a huge success. However, its impact on globalization leads to homogenization due to the Americanization, which Hollywood implements on a global scale. Here's a quote on cultural imperialism. It's quite long, so I'm not going to read it. But basically, it emerged as a concept in the 1960s, the maintenance of an equal relationship between nations, which favors the more powerful national. America dominates other countries' values and ideologies, pushing the American way through its domination of the global media market. Globalization is how countries and people across the globe interact. Homogenization is a decrease in cultural diversity and is seen as a key element of globalization. Heterogenization is the advent of new global culture / local and the global, a mixing of cultures and cultural behaviors. The global north and global south is quite simply the global north is being wealthier and developed countries and the global south being the lesser developed and poorer countries. Hollywood is the global north. The film that was first completed in Hollywood was 1908's The Count of Monte Cristo. Filming began in Chicago. However, the first film to be made entirely in Hollywood was the 1910 short film in Old California, How Fitting. Since the 1950s, Hollywood has been a transnational media system employing a global workforce. It can be seen to contribute to globalization in its ability and great success in appealing to audiences across the globe. Using well-known actors, Hollywood has the ability to reach audiences from an array of locations, ages, and genders. However, Hollywood is becoming increasingly reliant on foreign ticket sales for its revenue and success, meaning it is having to change its usual styles of film to appeal to audiences such as India, aka Bollywood, and China, where Hollywood films failed to do so well. Bollywood is the global south. It's historically centered in Mumbai, formerly known as Bombay, and began in the 1930s and has now become an enormous film empire. Common themes in a Bollywood film are bright and colourful sets or costumes, lively characters and plenty of dancing throughout, often with musical scenes and spectacular set pieces. The stars themselves tend to be the driving force of the film rather than the plot itself. Unlike Hollywood, there is no set criteria for what will make a good Bollywood film, which explains why Hollywood films perhaps don't do as well. Over recent years, Bollywood has been seen to broaden its audience appeal across the globe with huge successes like Slumdog Millionaire and Life of Pi. With thanks to globalization and technology, Bollywood films have widened their reach and in turn has led to an increase in size for the Bollywood film market, along with a massive growth in revenue. Because of globalization bringing about more attention to Bollywood, Bollywood actors are more and more often being given substantial roles and opportunities in Hollywood.